John Fetterman is 6 feet 8 inches tall. He has a shaved head, he has tattoos on his arms, and he eats 2 Lindsey Grahams for breakfast every morning. He also lives in an abandoned Chevy dealership. Check it out. He took an old Chevy dealership, converted it into a loft. He kept all those giant ramps, the ones that would move the cars in and take them out. Can you imagine being one of his kids at a skateboard in that place? All right, Fetterman served as the mayor of Braddock, Pennsylvania, and that's where he got his start in politics. But listen to this, if you are one of those people who still believes that your vote can't make a difference, John Fetterman won that seat in Braddock, which then allowed him to move on to lieutenant governor for the state of Pennsylvania and quite possibly a place in the United States Senate by one vote. One vote. He was then reelected to the office. He then went on in 2018 to win election as Pennsylvania's lieutenant governor, a position he currently still holds.
A woman's right to choose is sacred, and that would be one of the first litmus tests I would impose on anyone. And I'm proud to say that my governor and myself stood at that line of defense to make sure that women's reproductive freedom is guarded and secure in Pennsylvania.
We should all know by this point that Fetterman is up against Dr. Mehmet Oz. It's important to point out that Dr. Oz is getting a lot of shit for not actually having a residence in the state of Pennsylvania. Now let's talk just a moment about Dr. Mehmet Oz's campaign gaffes. He just continues to step in it. This has got to be one of the worst run campaigns ever. So the grocery store video. He was shooting a commercial in the grocery store in which he was supposed to be complaining about inflation.
Thought I'd do some grocery shopping. I'm at Wegners, and my wife wants some vegetables for crudite, right? So, for crudite. It's $20 for crudite, and this doesn't include the tequila. And we got Joe Biden to thank for this.
I know, all the people in Pennsylvania are thinking the same thing. It's been a rough couple of years. We got these refrigerators with body bags outside. We got signs of calamity and destruction of our democracy all around us. But what I'm really concerned about is it got worse though, because if you watch the commercial, he says, I'm in this store called Wegners. Well, there is no store called Wegners. It doesn't exist. There are 2 different chains that he might have been conflating. Wegmans and Redners had come up with Wegners. Now, do you get the idea that Dr. Oz, who doesn't live in Pennsylvania, doesn't work in Pennsylvania, doesn't socialize in Pennsylvania, may not know anything about the voters in Pennsylvania? Dr. Oz later defended himself by saying he was just exhausted when he made the video, to which Chasten Buttigieg responded on Twitter, I've got some bad news for you about being in public service. You just almost feel badly for Oz. Not only is he fumbling, you can really see in his eyes that he is in over his head. Now, nobody on Dr. Oz's campaign was smart enough to tell him, to even notice that he'd gotten the name of the store wrong. Nobody on Dr. Oz's campaign seems to know what the they are doing. And what's important about this race and why Democrats should all be rooting for John Fetterman to win is this would be a Senate pickup because the seat is currently held by Republican Pat Toomey, who is retiring. Consider what it means if we pick up this seat and another seat in the Senate. It means we no longer have to worry about what Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema might be doing at any given point. They will become irrelevant. That alone is enough reason to make sure that you support John Fetterman, aside from the fact that he has been doing the work in the state of Pennsylvania since first elected as mayor back in 2013. If you're interested in supporting John Fetterman, and I hope that you are, check out his campaign website, johnfetterman.com. Learn all about him, send him a couple bucks, let your friends know that you are supporting him. Word of mouth is going to make all the difference.
For crudite, right? So here's a broccoli. That's $2. Not a ton of broccoli there. Here's some asparagus. That's $4. Yep. Carrots. That's $4 more. That's $10.